It's Gorman in the morning with Fletcher and Ryder. Now, 92 KQRS.
Gorman in the morning, Minnesota's 92 KQRS. Good Friday morning. Very happy to be here alongside Fletcher.
Got to be fresh. Got to go downstairs. Got to have my bowl. Got to have my cereal. It is Friday. Rebecca Black.
Yeah.
That's for you, Ryder.
Wow. Ryder, how you feeling? I would accept nothing less than a happy, cackling Ryder on a Friday morning. Come on, let's get into it.
On, let's go.
We're working on it.
Feeling Minnesota, Paul Fletcher. Give me some headlines.
St. Paul, it's your turn. Expect significant road closures as MnDOT begins repairing 9 bridges over 94 and 35E this weekend with 94 eastbound from 280 to 35E closed.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
What?
Hey, you know what?
Say those one more time.
You're going to be repairing 9 bridges over 94 and 35E this weekend with 94 eastbound from 280 to 35E closed.
Ugh.
Hey, do your chairs have seatbelts? Because buckle up. Southside, you should also embrace for a major weekend shutdown with MnDOT closing sections of 494 and 35W beginning tonight. Oh, hey, wait, hold on. I-35W going to be closed in both directions between 494 and Highway 62. All of this begins around 10 o'clock tonight.
I need those roads.
It's a triple header this weekend, friends.
Oh, my God.
Just stay inside.
We're not going to go anywhere.
Nope, don't leave the house.
I feel like every time I find a new route to get around the construction, like a sign pops up that says this road is going to be closed starting Monday.
Yeah. Find a dirt road.
It's called thought control, and the man is undefeated. It really is.
Yeah, you got that right. Researchers in China announced a new way to treat sinus infections. Instead of antibiotics, they'll just shoot an army of tiny robots up your nose. Like a swarm smaller than a speck of dust. They tested these on animals and say they could be used to could be approved to treat sinus and bladder infections in humans in 5 to 10 years after they've tested them on animals.
Sinus and bladder infections?
Yeah. The only problem, you know what? They have one small problem. They're just the last hurdle they've got is they're just trying to figure out how to get them out of your body.
Microscopic,
robots.
Tiny little robots they shoot up your nose. Nanotech to handle sinus infections, and then they can also help you with a bladder infection.
I know how to get things out of my bladder, so I'm feeling pretty good about this.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Well, but they're not sure. So if they're not sure, I don't know that you should be too sure. Anyway, that's coming. Tiny robots up your nose. Collective Soul is going to release their first ever documentary, Give Me a Word, the Collective Soul story. It delves into the band's untold history, including the family dynamic, creativity, and wisdom gained over their career, with footage filmed at Elvis's Palm Springs estate during the recording of their latest album. The film will be available on DVD and Blu-ray July 8th, and then available for streaming later this year.
Elvis's Palm Springs estate. If they are not just working some deep fried peanut butter and banana sandwiches while recording there, they are missing the point.
I hope that they are. There should be a station set up there. If you go to record, it should be automatic.
There would have to be.
This is a fun one. A beekeeper in Spain was not happy with the cops during a traffic stop, so he unleashed bees on them.
Oh, boy.
Police pulled over a van for erratic driver driving, and the driver didn't have a seatbelt on either. The driver was angry at the officers and said, "I should have run you over." Then came the bees. He then walked to the back of his van, opened the door, and released a swarm of honeybees at the officers. They were stung, ran to a restaurant for safety. The beekeeper was nabbed shortly after fleeing the scene.
Hold on. If you're telling me a beekeeper can open up his van and point and the bees go after people that he's pointing on, then I need to learn. I need to go get some bees.
Superpower.
Yeah, that's pretty incredible.
Thinking he had to have lured them back there, right? And then
that would be that's a superhero kind of would you rather fly? Would you like to be invisible? No, I'd just like to control all the world's bees. That'd be fantastic.
Open up, but that's a different can that he's opening up. Let's go down a local rabbit hole for a second. Why don't we? The city of St. Paul is asking residents to keep an eye on neighborhood storm drains, not because of all the rain, but because more than 150 of them have been removed over the last month.
My bad.
Don't admit to it here.
Don't open the back doors of that KQ van if you don't want to see some storm drains.
Wow.
I'm just saying.
All right. Looking forward to SWAT being here a little later on. This malicious behavior is unacceptable and extremely dangerous to everyone, including drivers, walkers, and bikers. That's according to the Public Works Department. Now, if they were stealing them and attempting to make some quick cash, you could maybe understand that. But they're saying people are just removing them from removing the storm drain sewer grates and then just dropping them into the drain.
Sure. Yeah, I don't think there's a hot market for storm drains, though. I don't know where the cash would come from.
They're all like, whatever, steel or iron or whatever.
Okay.
You can make, $30-$40 a pop on them, probably.
Maybe.
But they're saying they're just dropping them into the drain.
This is good old-fashioned vandalism.
Just stupid, really.
Okay.
Yeah.
St. Paul Public Works asks you to call 911 if you see any of this nonsense.
Yeah, that is stupid. Come on, leave the storm drains alone. Let them do their job.
Pennywise got to them.
Could be.
We all float down here.
That changes everything.
Yeah.
Come on. I was having such a good day. Taste of Minnesota is back and perhaps bigger and better than ever. Entry is free, of course, but you're going to drop some coin if you choose to eat some food. And how can you not? The great Andrew Zimmern is back as the food ambassador and co-host with Fancy Ray, which is always a good time. There's going to be a focus on Juicy Lucy's Saturday. You'll be able to get a flight of full burgers from the Big Three, Matt's, 5-8, and The Nook. You've got free music from Joan Jett and Cheap Trick on Saturday. And then you've also got live wrestling, I'm assuming like pro wrestling, and a puppy party. This is all next weekend, the 5th and 6th at Nicollet Mall.
That's a whole lot of stuff that I'm interested in.
Yeah.
Puppies, burgers, Cheap Trick. Come on.
I mean, live wrestling, you'd watch that. Come on.
Watch it.
Who wouldn't?
Yeah.
There you go.
I wouldn't book it in advance, but if it just pops up right next to me,
That's what I'm saying. It's a curiosity. It's crazy. Yeah.
You're not going to wander down there with your folding chair in hand?
Oh, but you know what? We'll just have to play it by ear. It's a game time decision.
Good call.
All right. I've got some music quick hits for you. We're going to fly through these, starting with the loss of Mr. Brian Wilson. His cause of death was announced to be respiratory arrest. He had sepsis and cystitis, both infection issues. So... Oof. Yeah, not a fun end to life for the 82-year-old. The Pretenders will reissue a remastered version of their 87 compilation, The Singles, on 2 LPs and compact disc, August 15th. How about that?
I wouldn't listen on CD because I don't have a CD player anymore.
That's kind of crazy.
But Pretenders singles, sure, down. Let me go anytime.
And then also, asked about a final tour by Rolling Stone and retiring in a final tour, Bruce Springsteen quickly responded, no. He pointed to his peers as proof of music's staying power, saying, quote, the Stones play better than ever now, just like Paul McCartney and Bob Dylan stays on the road. These guys blaze a trail ahead of me. They show we've got plenty more miles to go. So Bruce ain't going anywhere anytime soon.
No. And as far as the Stones, like no one ever accused Mick Jagger of being the greatest singer ever, like technically speaking. He's a stylist. He's very unique.
Right.
But he's hardly Tony Bennett. Yeah. That said, the last 2 times I saw the Stones, he sounded phenomenal, amazing. And the last album they put out, Hackney Diamonds, I think is the greatest singing of his career. It makes no sense.
It defies the odds.
I think the rumor is the dude works out like crazy
he does.
Eats a lot of plants.
Yeah, that's it. Plant-based living. Apparently, that's one of those things I'm going to get around to one of these days.
Someday.
Minnesota Twins are halfway home, ladies and gentlemen.
Holy
39
cow.
and 42 at the midway point of the Major League Baseball season. 81 games in. There was that 13-game winning streak in May. Remember? Wasn't it great?
That was nice.
Remember May baseball?
Yes.
That was fun.
Yeah.
Not been so hot since. However, last night, a 10-1 victory at home over the Mariners after a 4-hour and 22-minute rain delay.
Yeah.
That's a long time to be sitting. I mean, how many brats can you shove down your gullet in 4 hours and 22 minutes?
And how many side mortgages do you need to take out to buy those brats?
My God. So only a few people left in the stadium when they got back in, but those people saw a heck of an 6th inning, 8-run 6th inning, that is. Simeon Woods Richardson, 5 scoreless innings. Go figure. Nice. Hey, man. 4 losing streaks that have gone on for at least 4 games thus far in the season. Take a little break, guys. Let's regroup. Let's come back strong. The Wild, Freddie, we hardly knew ye. Freddie Gaudreau, gone to Seattle for a 4th-round pick in this weekend's draft.
So sad.
It is sad. Showed up here in 2021, had a really nice run with the Wild, did he not?
He did, and just, I know that we shouldn't measure our athletes this way, but heart of gold and just a really good human.
Yeah,
and
don't care, but okay.
I do care because it's like it makes it easier to root for them, even if they're not doing well.
Give me what you want on the ice. I don't care otherwise.
Give me some W's, and then I'll root for you.
Yeah. Well, I like the guy. I'm sad to see him gone.
Faith Kipyegon is a Kenyan runner. Faith Kipyegon, and she, with a big group of people from Nike, have launched a campaign, the first sub 4-minute mile for a woman.
Ooh.
It went down yesterday in Paris. She's been training for this for quite a while. It's an exhibition, so it wouldn't be considered something that
official.
It wouldn't go into the record books. But the whole point was, can a woman break 4 minutes? She did not. She came in at 4 minutes 6 seconds. Her personal best, the best ever for a woman. They'll try again. She had 13 pace runners surrounding her. You know, they have the what they call the rabbits to lead the charge. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
13 people. 2 women were with her until the halfway point. A 5-man squad ran in front of her. It's worth watching if you want to track it down. But here's the thing. It's going to happen soon enough. A sub 4-minute mile for a woman is something that even 10 years ago people would have said this is not even possible. 6 seconds short of doing that. And it reminds me that when I was in high school, if I had been 4 seconds faster in the 100, I could have been all state.
Okay.
And that's a little shorter distance.
Well, a little bit. Yeah. Just saying. Only 4 seconds was all it took, though. I mean, man, it was close.
Yeah.
Hey, good morning, St. Michael.
Oh, yeah, St. Michael.
Happy to have St. Michael listening to us. Now, if you're in St. Michael,
beautiful this time of year.
You want to stop by the bank, you want to go get some groceries, and you want to thank a cop because, of course, St. Michael is the patron saint of banking, police, and grocers.
Oh.
Go figure.
There you go.
Did you just make that up?
No, I did not make that up.
Wow.
I think they were handing around things for saints to be patrons of, and he was like, anybody got the banks? I'll do. No one's got the cops yet? Oh,
Yep.
No one's got groceries. Can I get all 3? Man, I love food, money, and cops.
Yeah.
This is great.
Good trifecta.
Kind of like lawyers, guns, and money, if you think about it.
Sure.
I'm just, any chance to slide in a Zevon reference is always good with me.
It's nice work.
Gorman in the morning. Coming right back. 92 KQRS. Streaming from 92KQRS.com. Gorman in the morning is back. 92 KQRS.
Hey, want to say thanks to everybody at Charlie's on Pryor last night. That was a good time.
That was cool. You remember that 8-run 6th inning that you talked about? We got to sit at the bar at Charlie's and watch that all together. It was great.
It was pretty fantastic.
Yeah.
And hey,
beautiful
guess
place.
what? The patio, as good as advertised.
Yeah, I know. It was a bummer that we couldn't hang out there because it was all wet from the 4 inches of rain that we've been getting, but a great, spectacular patio.
It was really nice and a great room. My first time there, and I don't know when I'll be back, but I know when I'm in that area where I'm going. It was great.
Yeah,
it's a gorgeous facility.
And we're going to be hanging at a few more spots. We're still going to work down. I don't know if we'll get to every KQ bestest spot in the Twin Cities.
No, but we're going to...
That would take a while.
We're going to try and head eastward next time, maybe.
All right.
So if you are western Wisconsin, hanging out over in the east part of the metro, hopefully we'll get out there. I loved being in the south metro, though. Ran into people who knew people I went to high school with.
Nice.
It very much felt like I was, in my area.
Well, what I do when I'm in the South Metro is I pretend to know people that other people went to high school with, and I act like I went to high school around these areas, but no one believes me. It never seems to work. Fletcher, you're a big car guy.
Yeah.
Are you a big car chase guy? As in car chases in movies?
Oh yeah, when done right, heck yeah.
Is that your thing?
Oh man, yeah.
All right. Do you always have a Rolodex of greatest car chase movies going through your mind?
First, there's 2 to come to mind right away.
Okay.
The Firstborn movie.
Right.
When he's in the little Mini Cooper, he's going down the stairs.
Solid.
And then of course Steve McQueen in Bullet.
Well, that's the go-to.
It's the
ultimate. First time. Let's talk about car chases. Let's just get right to it. Some of the great movie car chase scenes of all time. The thing what we're thinking about is Brad Pitt, an actor of some note. He's got a new movie out this weekend, F1.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now this is about cars racing on a track.
Yeah.
And there's great movies where you have car races. But nothing beats a car chase.
Right.
I mean, let's just call it what it is.
It's cut to the chase for a reason, because it's the best part.
Damn straight. And we mentioned right before the break, like right before we said, what are some of the great car chase scenes? And Fletcher, you said Bullet. That's always, I think that's the first one that got everybody's attention in the world. It's like everybody's number one pick, at least in terms of like the way you say great films. You always go, well, there's The Godfather, and in car chases, there's always Bullet.
Dad's favorite. He showed it to me a bunch of times. Kiddo, that Mustang just lost 6 hubcaps.
Yeah. Well, but other than the hubcaps, it's like you see Steve driving the car.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's actually being driven. Like the chase is actually happening, and that's part of what makes it so great. Another one that popped into my mind is Nicolas Cage, Gone in 60 Seconds. I know there was one done a while back, but the more recent Gone in 60 Seconds, when he's driving Eleanor, whoever the stunt driver is, or Nicolas Cage is driving the wheels off that car.
Well, have you seen the original Gone in 60 Seconds?
I haven't.
That's my all-time number one. The car chase is 40 minutes long.
It's a beast. Yeah, and Nick Cage, the first thing that jumped into my mind was him grabbing those Huggies in Raised in Arizona. I know that's not a car chase scene, but that was some great driving.
It's a great, he is being chased down the street by those stray dogs are after him. The guys in the car. The original Gone in 60 Seconds, the guy's name was H.B. Halicki. He produced it, he wrote it, he directed it, and he started it, and he did all the driving.
Wow.
He did everything.
That's a dream come true.
Oh, he's an insurance investigator, and he's got a side hustle where he just steals high-end cars. I mean, what a great, that's all you need to know. Mm-hmm. But there is a moment, I mean, in that movie, I gotta make sure I'm getting this right. I just looked it up. Yeah, it's 41 minutes long.
The car chase scene.
The car chase. It is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm putting it on the to-do list.
And you mentioned the Mini Cooper in Paris in the first Jason Bourne movie.
Yeah.
Is it the second or third one in Moscow where he's chasing the guy that went on?
Pretty sure it's Bourne Supremacy, whichever one that one is.
I don't know which one's called what. I just know that the one in Moscow where the dude's in the Land Rover and he's in the cheap Russian like taxi, but it ends in that tunnel. That one through Moscow is every bit as great as the one in Paris, I do believe. And fun fact about the one in Moscow, the KGB hitman who he's chasing, that actor turned up in that show on Amazon, The Boys. He's
really?
Okay.
He's the main guy. What's his name? Bigga. What's his name? Butcher.
Oh, the Butcher, really?
Butcher is the Russian KGB assassin in the Bourne movies. Same actor.
Yeah, I don't remember his face from that. I certainly remember it from The Boys, though.
No. If you go back and look, you're like, oh, I've seen that guy somewhere.
Wow.
You know what? Is on 651-989 Rock is the KQ talking text line. No shortage of Blues Brothers people texting in on that one.
Going through the mall, that was like my top one too. How many Chicago PD cars got wrecked in that scene?
The first time I ever played Mario Kart with the kids on the Wii, and there's one of those tracks. It looks like you're going through a mall, and I was like, it's the Blues Brothers, and of course they were 4
like,
and 6
what?
and had no idea what the hell I was talking about. Gene Hackman, French Connection, pretty another great standard. There's so many, and it's just funny to think about. Like there was a moment in time when films would be greenlit based on one thing: we're gonna have a great car chase. Okay, how are you gonna do it? Great, let's do this. Oh wow! See, this is so. I love these texts coming in. Dirty Mary, Crazy Larry. Do you ever see that one? Back in the day, Peter Fonda.
I hear it's one of the greats, along with Vanishing Point, which I think I rented and never watched.
Yeah. Dirty Mary, Crazy Larry it would come on like the Friday night movies when I was a kid, and it was one of those ones where that every time, and my older brothers would be like, "Oh, we're watching that one." My first movie experience as a kid going to see a movie that was full of great car scenes was Smokey and the Bandit. That I remember, like 6th grade or so. And in the theater, seeing that, like I'd seen Bullet, I'd seen French Connection on TV.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But the first time I was watching like real fun, fast cars doing crazy stuff was Smokey and the Bandit. And on top of it, it's just hilariously funny.
Yeah.
To this day, for all the things that don't age well in movies, that one I'm still just laughing every time I see it.
In my mind, were there similar actors, or was there a tie between Cannonball Run and Smokey and the Bandit? Because that's when I was really young.
Burt Reynolds?
Well, Burt
was
Reynolds.
he in both of them? Is that what it was? That was okay, that's what I'm... that one,
Dude,
Cannonball Run's got some phenomenal stuff in it,
when
too.
the Italian guy gets in the car and he takes the rearview mirror and he just tears it off. He goes, "What is behind you does not matter. It's not important." Cannonball Run, my favorite. A few years ago, somebody asked George Clooney about, can you tell when a movie's going to be great? Because when you're shooting a film, there's so many millions of elements that lead to the final product. And the actors, of course, have no control over any of it. And he said, look, if enjoying the process related to the movie being good at the end, Cannonball Run would have won all the Oscars. And I just thought, what a great poll that was. 651-989-ROCK. Let us know. So many great car chase scenes we're talking about. A recent one. Well, I'd say recent. In my mind, I was thinking, it's probably like 10 or 15 years ago, and I had to look it up. It's from 1998, so it's like, or 27 years ago. Ronin, the Robert De Niro film.
So good.
There's a car chase through Paris in that movie, and I remember I saw that movie in the theater, had no concept of what it was. It was just one of those, let's just go see this. It's De Niro. Well, how bad can it be?
Sure. And
there's an unexpected, and all of a sudden it's like, hey, we're in a car chase in Paris. And the thing that was so great about it is it seems, this will sound silly, it's realistic. Like, there's not a moment where a car jumps off a bridge and lands on a boat on the river and then it's just two cars driving really fast through Paris in other traffic. It's just one of those ones where a couple minutes into the chase, I just realized, like, oh my God, I feel like I'm in these cars.
Yeah.
Which every great car chase scene's trying to do that, and some do it better than others. But I don't know who to credit, the director, the editor, whoever. But if you ever see Ronin, just cue up that car chase. It's exhilarating. I mean, and I've seen it not that long ago too, and I was like, oh yeah, this is as good as I remember it.
It's like 3 cars involved at the beginning through tight streets in France. It's like 8 minutes long. It's definitely worth checking out.
Another great moment. There was one called The 7-Ups. You ever see that movie from the 70s? Roy Scheider.
Just got hit up on the phone about the 7-Ups.
Oh, did you?
No joke, yeah.
It's really great. And the ending, the car chase comes to an end like boom, that scene's over in a way that it's worth Googling to find out. But the 7-Ups was another one. It's so funny in the 70s, sitting around the house with the family. There was like I said, there was Dirty Mary, Crazy Larry, Bullet, French Connection, 7-Ups. There was just all these movies that if we saw them coming up like this Friday on ABC, it'd be like, oh, we're watching that. We would sit around and watch a car chase with the best of them.
100%.
Terminator 2. Pretty good chase through the LA River, the concrete river in LA, the semi truck and the motorcycle.
Yes.
And you got a motorcycle, a Terminator, a boy, a shotgun, and another Terminator driving a semi. Pretty good stuff. I mean, if memory serves, that's a pretty badass chase scene.
And you're going through the aqueducts or whatever of LA?
Like, LA River.
Heck
that's what that's called.
Yeah.
And you know every time that's on, Billy Idol still just goes like, should have been made.
Should have been. Yeah, I know.
He was cast. He was the melting Terminator liquid guy.
You know, one that pops to my head. It's not really a car chase. But it was just on last weekend, and I happened to catch the last 20 minutes, is Days of Thunder. It's not the most realistic. It's not It's not a chase. But when Tom Cruise, what's his name? Cole Trickle wins the Indy 500, or the Daytona 500 at the end of that race.
Okay.
It gets me every time. It's ridiculous. But it's Tom Cruise, we've talked about him before on the show. That's a movie star. Yeah. And he sucks you in every single time, man. Great scene.
It's very true. Somebody wrote, Christine texted, since you already brought up the Mini Cooper, hard to overlook the Italian Job. Absolutely.
Sure.
How could we overlook that?
Yeah.
Tremendous chase scene that ends with the car dangling off the cliff and the gold. And I think I've got a great idea. That's good. The band Stereophonics, a Welsh band, one of their early music videos is a takeoff of the Italian Job. The 3 of them are driving around in Mini Coopers. They just blindly ripped off that whole movie. Yeah.
Did they actually get to drive the cars, or is it like some kind of?
Oh no, it's them.
Really?
Do it. Yeah,
nice.
yeah. That was pretty cool. And I appreciate this text that just came in. Somebody corrected me. I said, you mentioned Cannonball Run, and I said where the guy rips the rearview mirror off. Someone texted in, no, that's not Cannonball Run. That's Gumball Rally. You are correct. Another great. That's right, Gumball Rally. Hell yeah! Thank you for that correction text right there.
A little under the radar. A couple texts came in for Baby Driver. I haven't actually ever watched that movie in its entirety.
I watched Baby Driver.
But the opening scene is a car chase, and that I have seen, and that is pretty tremendous. The kid's just like puts his earbuds in.
Yep.
It's like, so it's choreographed to music, and it's just like really well done. Good stunts, etc.
Lots of good stuff. Lots of stuff that I like on the soundtrack anyway. The Damned featured in that one.
Yeah, sure.
So that's a good one. Ryan Gosling in the movie called Drive.
Oh, yeah.
When he throws it in reverse, just goosebumps every time. And that early scene when he gets to, I think it was Staples Center at the time, but now they probably changed the name of it. Like, epic.
Final text we'll share with you. If you don't know what it is, just Google it. Oh, the memories come back. Mother, Jugs, and Speed. The 70s were lit, y'all. Let's talk about how often we ding ourselves. Cuts, bruises, scrapes, the usual.
Okay.
The adhesive bandage company Curad. I don't say Band-Aids because Band-Aid's actually a brand name. It's like Kleenex, So,
okay.
But there's another one, Curad, which, as a kid, I'd be like, oh, really? Curad? We didn't get the Band-Aids?
We got the off-brand one?
Yeah, well, come on, Mom.
The off-brand one's never stuck as well either.
Of course not. No, come on. Nothing against the Curad people. I'm sure they're wonderful folks.
I'm sure they're nice.
They were asking their customers, they put out a big poll, and they said, hey, how many times do you hurt yourself? How many times do you need a Band-Aid, like in a day or in a week or in a month? The average adult suffers 35 scrapes and or bruises a year. So that's about 3 times a month they say we're injuring ourselves.
That seems low for me.
I thought so
klutzy.
too. See, I don't consider myself klutzy, but that's because I'm in denial, apparently. Because I started thinking about it, and we go through a lot of Band-Aids at the Gorman house, and it's just me and Rosemary. I'm like, I started going like, wait a minute. There's 2 boxes of Band-Aids and 2 tubes of Neosporin that I can locate at any given moment.
Right.
Sure.
And then there's probably a 3rd and 4th set in a drawer somewhere. But I mean, there's never a time when I can't just put my eyeballs on a box of Band-Aids and some Neosporin because we're just hurting ourselves all the time.
Are you more of a Mickey Mouse Band-Aid or Little Mermaid Band-Aid?
I go off-brand. I buy the ones that look like bacon strips.
Okay.
Those are fun.
Yes.
Yeah. So this adds up to, by the way, if you're doing this about 3 times a month, and of course, kids, my God, when you're a little kid, when you're 7 years old and you got a bicycle and you're at that great age when you still like a swing set, but you also have a bicycle and the monkey bars and then
trampoline
and nothing you won't say no to. That's a daily grind. You're injuring yourself I look back on my childhood and think, every single day, at least once I went, ow! Right?
Current 8-year-old has no less than 3 bandages on at a time. Well, maybe not no less, but I would say an average of 3 bandages at any given time.
So the numbers, when they crunched them all, they basically came up to the average American is getting 4,000 cuts, scrapes, and bruises over the course of their life. 4,000.
That still seems low to me. I never realized when I hurt myself, like Mr. Ryder brings it up, and probably 3 days later, like, what the hell is that on your arm?
Yeah.
What's up with that bruise? Where did that scrape come from? I don't know what's going on.
We've been having that conversation for years, me and Rosemary. There are mystery bruises all the time. Like, what in the hell was that?
Yeah, I don't understand how a mystery bruise appears. You know what I mean? Like, that's one. It's one of life's great mysteries, I think. But
about a year ago, I smashed my right foot little toe on an open door. And it was first thing, get out of bed, 3:45 a.m.
Yeah. And
I'm walking through the room and I'm like, okay, and I just did not recognize that I had 2 inches less space than I thought I had. And just in a slow step, you don't realize how much energy your leg is putting forward until you smash your little toe into something. And I was talking about it on I was walking around for like a week with a giant grape at the end of my foot. I was like, oh my God. I clearly broke the damn thing. And after about 2 weeks, someone was like, dude, tape it to the toe next to it. It took me forever, but now I don't notice it. But it was several months of my toe is messed up, man.
And now your foot looks like a plastic fork with one of the prongs going out to the right. It's crazy.
If the tong had a grape attached to the end of it, like a nice purple
and
grape,
bent out to the right as well.
It was awful. I kind of look like a tiny little gerbil on the end of my foot too. Now that I think about it, you know what I mean? It's kind of weird, right
cute.
there.
That's cute.
We got ourselves a boat cruise coming up in just under a month. July 25th, the Rockin' the 80s cruise. We want to give away a few tickets. We're going to play a game called Double or Nothing, which is always a good time. We will see if you can match answers to questions with a couple of barflies from the area. Ryder, were these barflies from last night's event?
Everybody was hanging out with us at Charlie's in Prior Lake last night. So yeah, good times.
I love that. So we had fun last night. It was a good time and a little bit of work, and we're going to enjoy the spoils, the fruits of our labor right now.
I feel like I did all the work here.
Well, I'm just the royal we.
I helped, right?
Okay.
Number 1, David from Minneapolis, caller number 1. David, good morning, sir.
Morning.
All right, brother, you know how this works. I'm going to ask you 5 questions. Just give me your answers, and then we'll see if you can match 2 out of 5 with somebody who we were hanging out with last night. Are you ready?
Let's go.
Number 1, what's the best beer to drink on a hot day?
PBR.
Oh, goodness. Ryder's friend David right there. Let's see. Number 2, name a popular place in the metro for a tourist to take a selfie.
Walker Art Center with the cherry thing.
Okay. I like the specificity.
Yeah.
What's a brand, any item, a brand that features the colors red, white, and blue?
PBR.
You go. I was really hoping he'd go double on the PBR. What's a route? What's a route heading up north where you might run into a lot of traffic on a holiday weekend?
35W.
Let's see here. How about this? Which is the better pet to pet sit for when a friend is out of town, a cat or a dog?
That's totally dog.
I like that answer. All right. Well done, David. Let's see who is answering this set of questions from last night, Ryder.
So first I hooked up with my brand new friend Megan and Mark, her drinking buddy and husband as well. And here are Megan's answers. Here we go. What's the best beer to drink on a hot day?
Corona with a lime.
What's a popular place in the metro for a tourist to take a selfie?
The Spoon and Cherry.
Name a brand that features the colors red, white, and blue.
Pepsi.
What's a route heading up north where you might run into a lot of traffic on a holiday weekend?
35W, baby.
Best pet to watch when your friend is out of town, cat or dog?
Dog.
Bang! Right there. 3 out of 5, David. Well done.
I'm pretty sure they both said 35W, baby.
Yeah, they did. Hell yeah. All right, David, you just won tickets to the cruise, brother.
Woo!
Don't
Atta
go
kid.
nowhere, man.
All right, don't go anywhere. Sit on hold for a minute. We'll circle back around. We got another set of tickets to give away, do we not?
Absolutely.
Let's go to Dan in St. Paul. Dan, are you with us?
Yes.
Good morning, sir. I'm going to ask
Good
you.
morning.
I'm going to ask you 5 questions. If you match 2 out of 5, you're going on the cruise. Are you ready?
Yep.
All right, here we go. Number 1, name a style of firework.
M80.
Whoa, going old school. Man. All right, what's a good lake in the metro for pontooning?
Lake Harriet.
All right, let's see. Name a piece of equipment that you need to play baseball.
Bat.
Besides a hot dog, what is a food you grill?
Hamburgers.
And finally, name a sports team that disappoints Minnesotans.
Vikings.
Oh, boy. Here we go.
All right, and we got to talk to Mark, who Megan's partner here, and here are Mark's answers. Okay, Mark, here we go. Name a style of firework.
Sparklers.
What's a good lake for pontooning?
Lake Minnetonka.
Yeah.
Name a piece of equipment you need to play baseball.
A bat.
Besides hot dog, name a food you grill.
Hamburgers.
What's a sports team that disappoints Minnesotans?
The Vikings?
Wow. Man, 3 out of 5, 2 times back to back. That's a first.
Done and done.
Man, Dan in
Running
St.
it.
Paul, congratulations, brother. You're going to be on the cruise with us.
Thank you.
And
You
Dan,
got it.
Dan, if he'd have stuck with your original Minnetonka, you'd have gone 4 for 5.
I know.
that was
Yeah,
Right.
man.
Hang on, Dan.
Dan.
Sit tight, Dan. We'll take it out. We'll get you squared away with those tickets. Man, that's great work, everybody.
Lace
like-
is out, Dan.
I like loading up that boat.
Yeah, no
Do it.
kidding.
Yeah, buddy.
All right, that puts me in a damn good mood.
Gorman in the morning. Coming right back. 92 KQRS. Streaming from 92KQRS.com. Gorman in the morning is back. 92 KQRS.
Erica Rhodes is in studio with us. She is at Acme Comedy Club. Already had a couple nights. You're there tonight and tomorrow night. Erica, it is a pleasure to have you back.
Oh, it's so great to be back. Thanks
Isn't it
for
nice?
having me. Yes.
Not only on this show, I'm sure, but what a great comedy town and Acme. It's got to feel nice. Every time you walk in there, you're like, hey, this place again, right on.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite clubs in the whole country. They're so lucky to have it here.
Yeah, it's that's everybody that we get that's at Acme comes in and says the exact same thing because it's just that true.
Yep, Lewis Lee is the owner, and he really cares about comedy,
Yeah.
which is refreshing.
Yeah,
Not just money.
Yeah.
He likes the comedy.
it does help when the guy
Yes.
in charge actually pays attention to what the people are doing on stage.
Exactly.
And has some standards. and
Yeah.
all the time.
That's exactly right.
Isn't just trying to sell drinks.
Right.
Well, so Erica, let's just get right to it. What's
Yeah.
your problem, man?
My problem?
I don't know. I just thought I'd throw a curveball at you right away.
Jeez.
Well, you come in, you're in a great mood, you're laughing, you're bubbly. I figure it's all an act. Drop the mask.
Yeah,
What's
that's a
going
good
on?
point. I have so many problems.
Get into this tortured
we were
soul.
just talking about downloading an app to do yoga, right?
Yeah.
And I just have an issue with apps in general.
Okay.
Where it's like, how many apps do we, like, every single thing you do, you need an app for now.
Right.
I went to yoga, and then they're like, you needed to download the app to pay for parking. And I was like freaking out after yoga. I was like,
Yeah.
I'm apped out, okay?
Yeah.
And they're like, and they always say the same thing. They say, it's simple. It's never simple.
It's never simple.
It's never simple. You have to give your address, your email. You have to sign up for everything, and then it's like takes 20 minutes, and then you don't have Wi-Fi. Then you have to sign into the Wi-Fi. Then you have to like get a password for the new app, and then there's no memory in your phone. And
My
then
personal history with yoga is I walk out of a yoga class, and the last thing I want to do is download an app. The last thing I want to do is even have a phone ever again.
Same.
Yeah.
And so now they're making me do that, and then to get water in this yoga studio, I had to pay for it in a vending machine with my card in the vending machine.
Uh-huh.
I was like, can we just have people come back to doing things?
It would be nice.
I miss people.
If we just turn the temperature up in the room that you're doing all of this in, you'd have your exercise and you'd be done.
That's true, because
Yeah.
of the anxiety.
You know, there was a story I saw in the Netherlands. They have special checkout lanes at grocery stores for people that are, and usually senior citizens, who just want to have a chat with the clerk. And it says this line takes longer. So as they're ringing up their groceries, you actually just engage, and you can stay for 5 or 10 or even 15 minutes.
So
just having
much
a nice,
better. That's what I want. I mean, I had my bank call me the other day, and they're like, we're calling you to serve you. And I said, okay. And they said, what are your goals for the year? And I said, I want to open a savings account.
Uh-huh.
So I don't have one.
Yeah.
And she goes, okay, I can help with that. Go to your app.
That's it.
And open up the savings. And I was like, you're a person calling me.
Yeah. You started this.
I just want to talk. I want a person to do the thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, anyway, you asked.
I know. I appreciate that. It's good. I just wanted to get all that out of the way first.
Actually, that really felt good to just vent.
Yeah.
Top of the morning.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I'm glad
Who
to
knew
do
I
it.
needed that? Jeez.
I have a feeling you're gonna leave here and go for a run now. You're gonna be like, I gotta
know.
burn off more energy.
Who knew I was so angry?
Tell you what, the show tonight at Acme is going to be out of control.
It's gonna be wild. It's just
Yeah.
gonna be about me venting about everything.
Nice. I like that.
Well, no, you got it all out now. The energy
Oh,
is
that's
going to be
true.
outstanding
Now I just feel
tonight.
good.
Yeah.
The dark side of Erica Rhodes. We finally got there.
I do have a dark side.
I figure you had to be. No one's as bubbly as you are, and as happy as you are, and as much. You have such a genuine laugh. You love to laugh.
That's
you love
true.
to make people laugh.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I've
Thank
seen you up there a lot, and I always think I'm in such a good mood now. But there's a darkness.
There
just
is a
lurking.
darkness.
Sure.
I have some new pretty dark jokes.
Yeah? Oh,
Yeah.
yeah?
Which is fun. I actually have a couple yoga jokes too.
Nice.
Yeah, I was saying that I'm not sure I'm lonely, but the other day I was in yoga and the teacher said at the end of the class to hug your knees to your chest.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's like, show yourself self-love and kiss your knees. And I used tongue. And then she came over and she's like, you can stop now. I was like, I'm not done.
Yeah, no,
okay?
no.
You started this mess.
Been a minute. Well, self-love, tonguing your knees, it could go in a lot of directions. I think you played it safe with that one.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, that's nice. So are you?
Tongue and knees.
You're a musician of note as well.
Yeah, I played cello actually.
Yeah.
I was a cello philosophy major in college.
It's my favorite thing about you.
Yeah, because I wanted to think deep thoughts as I opened my legs for no money.
Yeah, see?
That's another joke.
Erica, bury me in a Y-shaped coffin roads.
You didn't think I just had a cello joke,
No,
right?
of course not.
That is a big piece of wood.
Yeah, I was like, if people don't know what it is, it's the wood you hold between your legs.
Yeah.
It's the sexiest instrument.
Ever.
Right? It is.
It's the saddest instrument.
Can you think of a sexier instrument than cello?
The bassoon.
Nothing. Hey, listen. Nothing can bring a tear to my eye quicker than just a solo cellist. Just do. It is a truly emotional instrument.
Yeah, I know because I actually played in a band when I first moved to LA. Can you believe it? I play a cello in a band.
I like that.
And they never mic'd me. No one could hear me.
Really?
And I would I'd be playing in the background the same whole notes, and then everyone would come up and be like, "You sounded amazing." And I'm like, "No one can hear me."
That's right. What
Under this
what
band.
kind of music was this band playing?
It was a little indie rock,
Little indie rock?
Yeah, it was a little indie rock.
Okay.
But I can't remember what. Yeah, I don't remember what it was called.
Yeah.
You don't even remember the name of the band?
It was something John's. It was a long name. Something John's. Something St. John's. Something like
Okay.
that.
And this is you're in LA. You're hitting the streets.
Feel
you're
bad.
playing
Sorry.
clubs. The band load in. I mean, you don't get to carry in something cool like an amp. You just got this giant, cello
the
case.
cello, and
Yeah.
it's not a fun instrument to lug around.
No, I
people
wouldn't
are like, you
imagine.
should put it in your act. I was like, I'm not. I'm free right now. I just show up. I don't need to lug a cello around.
So, as a cellist, if somebody says, "Hey, here's a viola or a violin," can you work your way around on that as well?
No,
Not at all.
No. That's a different clef and different.
Sure.
Yeah, no, I can't.
But I mean, you can't even kind of fake it.
I could hold. I know how to hold it.
Yeah. Wouldn't get in.
I don't know how to make anything out of it.
It doesn't get anywhere near between your legs, though. And that's
Yeah, it's
a
not
problem,
as
I'm guessing.
sexy. So
Not
what's
as
the
sexy.
point?
Yeah. Is that like a? Is
Not
that
a
like
thirst trap like the cello.
I mean, you go with like biker shorts? Do you go with a skirt? What's the
Skirts
preferred?
are much cooler with
Yeah.
the cello. Yeah, like
That's
a Jacqueline
fair.
Dupre type.
Yeah.
flowy skirt.
Have you ever considered working a cello into your show?
Did you just hear what I said?
About,
I don't want to bring it anywhere.
but they could bring.
got
They
people
could
that can do that
provide
for you.
cellos.
That's true. They
If
can.
you ask Lewis over at Acme, "Hey, I need a cello tonight," he'll have one there in 10 minutes.
It won't be a good cello though. It won't
That's
be like a cello that's. I mean, maybe Lewis would get a good one,
Yeah.
but most clubs wouldn't get a good
Do
one.
you need a good cello for a stand-up routine? Only the
Probably not.
best?
That's a good point. I don't need a good cello. I could just have a cello there and be like, I could
Never
play
address
this.
it.
Yeah.
Never, just have it on stage next to you and never even address.
I feel like that's been
or-
done though. I think like an old,
Damn it.
It sounds like a good old fat.
It's an old school joke where you don't actually play the thing.
kind of borscht belt, actually.
Yeah.
I saw the very first ever iteration of the touring Cirque du Soleil in 1991.
Whoa.
And it was called Reinvent the Circus. And I hold on, there's a point here. And went into the tent, had no idea what it was, and was blown away the first time you see that sort of a
Yes.
show. And in the middle of the show, there was like a trapeze, a guy who was just seemingly flying around the tent with ropes kind of dangling wrapped around his wrists. It was gorgeous. And the only accompaniment was one of the clowns playing a cello piece.
Oh, wow.
And it was such a moving thing.
Yes.
And I was literally crying sitting there, and people were very, is everything okay? And I'm just like, don't take me out of the moment, man. This is the most
you were
beautiful thing I've
moved.
ever seen. I was so moved, really stoned, but really moved. And I've never forgotten that. And I've always been a sucker for a cello, but that was kind of the apex. So
Yeah,
it's
that's
a
cool.
gorgeous instrument.
I just got a song in my head from one of the Cirque du Soleil. You know, Allegria.
Okay, yeah,
Allegria.
yeah. There it is.
I kind of remember it, but yeah, I think I went in the 90s too.
Erica Rhodes at Acme tonight and tomorrow night. Two shows
Yes.
both nights. Are you a karaoke gal ever?
Oh, once in a while.
Every now and again?
Yeah, I'm not like hardcore, but
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I would do
But
it.
if the opportunity presents itself, you'll
Yeah,
get
I'll
up
do
there.
it.
Yeah.
I'm not above it. Let's
You got
put it that
you got
way.
a go-to? You got one you're always looking for?
Well, for me, my voice best suits the Love Fool. Love me, say that you love me.
Okay.
Fool me,
The Cardigans.
Yeah,
Cardigans.
go
Yeah,
on
Cardigans.
and fool me.
Yeah,
I
wow.
couldn't care about anything.
I wasn't even going
but
to ask,
you.
but she's just doing
Yeah.
it for us. That's beautiful.
Acapella.
I mean, I
too.
could do it better than that. That was like me phoning it
Sure,
in, you know,
no, I
because I
got
don't
it.
want to commit and then fail.
Right.
So I was just like, I know how it goes.
Makes perfect sense.
Okay, you know what? I got a question for both of you
Okay.
Yes.
because you were in a band once.
For a minute.
Yes.
And
A big band.
Yeah, and you're a big joke teller. You've been on America's Got Talent.
Yes.
The Black Crowes did the late night rounds. Is it
Of TV shows?
of TV show, late night TV? Sorry, yeah. And so I'm curious if how different it is. I've always wondered what it's like, how different it might be when you're in sort of a I don't know, a canned up situation, if you will.
Yeah.
I mean, is it different, like going on stage at America's Got Talent as opposed to like Acme? Is it weird?
Oh,
is
yeah,
it's
totally
stale,
different.
forced, that kind of thing?
Yeah.
And the same thing for like in a band situation?
Yeah, it's totally different. I mean, it's doing 3 minutes versus an hour. You know, it's almost like a different art form, I think.
I think it absolutely is.
Yeah.
It's a sprinter or a marathon or whatever you want to compare it to. There's no sense of plus TV shows. The lights are crazy. A lot of studios that keep it really cold because the lights are so hot. And then you're sitting around for hours, and then it's like okay, and you're watching the countdown. But your normal that's when you realize what you do before a show. You don't think about like I have a routine until you don't have a chance to do the routine.
Right.
And then you're just in a weird studio, and then you walk out, and it's like okay, it's like. There's no build-up. There's no working for a band. You have your set list. You know you're opening. You're going to come out, and you pick that opening song usually just to make sure the sound guys have it right. It's like you feel your way through it, and you want to build up a sweat. The best time of a gig is about 20 minutes in, and then you're just off and running.
Yes,
and you don't get that.
You don't get that.
It's like no, you got 4 minutes, man. Go get everyone's attention now. Go, and it's very counterintuitive.
My second round in America's Got Talent was extra challenging because. I had to follow a golden buzzer. And so the crowd was like almost on their feet before I got there. They were like screaming and hollering like, woo, like crazy energy. And I was backstage being like when I could tell they were about to do the golden buzzer for the guy before me, I was like, please don't do the golden buzzer. Please don't. Because I was just going to come out with really low key energy in contrast. Like my brilliant idea was like, I'm just going to be like, hi, like really low key after everyone's like, woo, like crazy, flying around, doing crazy dancing. And then I came out and they were screaming so loud, they couldn't hear me if I just went hi. So if I had been in a club, I wanted to be like, shut up, but I couldn't say shut up on TV. So I was just like, hi, like I started like almost like screaming hi. And that was like not a good first moment for me. I was like, I wasn't true to myself in the first moment.
Got it.
So then it was like kind of tough the rest of the set.
Not that I noticed. I saw all those episodes. You were great.
Oh, thanks. That's nice.
Yeah.
I was proud that I stood up to Simon in the second round when he was like, get out and laugh. And I was like, why? Because too much lady material? And he did not see that coming.
No, he did not see that coming.
So then he was forced to laugh.
He was
like, I don't know what to say
good.
now.
Yeah.
So
and his eyes have shriveled up to like raisins. It's weird.
I always think there's a million connecting points between musicians and comedians. They're so similar. And I know a million musicians who at some point would say, if they were being honest, I thought about comedy, and a lot of comedians love to play instruments and things. But but within the world you operate in, let's move the music away. Acting, writing, stand-up, these are all very different things, but you've done them all. What's your perfect world? Like it's a weird time. You almost have to create your own path like we did 50 years ago. There's not like a routine. Everybody's journey is sort of unique now. So in the perfect world for Erica Rhodes, would you like to be acting more? Would you like to be handed parts? Are you happy just doing stand-up? Like, where's your head and heart these days?
I miss acting. Like I trained in acting and I started in acting and I think I'm good at it, And so I definitely would like to do more of it. And I think I have to create my own project. So I wrote a film. I'd love to do that. That's sort of like a dream of mine to finish this film. And anything you want to share? What's that about? What's the? It's about my dad dying, which is actually also in my act. So it's it applies. But it's supposed to be funny and heartwarming. And
I would imagine that it is.
It's called it would be called Everyone Thinks I'm Dying.
Right.
Because he said that at one point. He's like, everyone thinks I'm dying, and then I didn't know what to say to that because I was like, you are, So I just go. I trying to come up with the right thing to say. I just said, what gives you that impression? And he laughed really hard, and he's like, good one, buddy, good one.
Yeah.
And I was like, that was a really genuine moment I had with my dad. So wanted to make a film about it. Yeah, thanks.
Well, no, keep that shoulder of the wheel. It'll happen.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I wrote it already. I just need to, come up with the money and everything.
Sure. Yeah.
That's the easy. Wait.
Yeah, getting the $1 million to
I was going to say,
produce
I got 20 burning a hole in my pocket right here. I'm in for $20.
I thought you meant 20,000. That would.
I'm just don't carry a lot of cash these days.
Yeah, I don't know if $20 can really burn a hole.
Well, that's very true. It's thinking about. It's just sort of sitting there, really.
Yeah, I don't know if that would,
Not enough
Hey, I'm
energy in a
trying.
$20 bill to burn all the way through. Maybe just give it a little a tinder to your pocket, but I'm not
Something.
sure all the way through.
$20 and a match.
Erica Rhodes is at Acme tonight, 7 to 9:30. Tomorrow night, 7 to 9:30. You could do you could hardly do better than spending a few hours in the company of this wonderfully brilliant woman. I'm so happy to have you back in.
Oh, it's
Heck yeah.
always great to be here. This is always fun. You're so good at this.
Well,
Who knew?
we're faking it with the best of them. We're all just doing what we can. Erica,
Yes.
you are always welcome. We'll see you again next time.
Thanks so much, you guys.
Right on.
Thanks
Go
for
see
having
Erica
me.
at Acme.
Gorman in the morning. Coming right back. 92 KQRS. Streaming from 92KQRS.com. Gorman in the morning is back. 92 KQRS.
Gorman in the morning, Minnesota's 92 KQRS. Happy Friday. It is June the 27th. We got ourselves a bargument we have to dive into
All right.
here. Here's the question for the day. If you could see any artist, like you could go back and see any artist no longer with us, a band or an artist, how much would you pay? Who's your favorite dead artist? How much are you going to part with to see them? On the KQ Talk text line, our buddy Bob the Hummus Guy said, I would sell a body part and cash to see Prince one more time.
I mean, that's fair.
$750 to see Sinatra and Dean Martin at Mancini's. Okay, yeah.
$750. That's a random number.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw a couple of stipulations on this whole bargument thing. This has to be real money that you actually have. Like, you can't say I
Okay.
would pay $1 million to
Okay.
see the replacements. This
All
has
right.
to be actual money you have in your bank account, and you don't get to pick if it's going to be a good or bad show. Again, like the replacements, it could be ones where they didn't get through the whole set list.
Do I get parking? Always the first question.
I will say yes, free parking.
Okay, all right. If I got a
Okay.
good parking space, that's certainly okay. This has to be real money. It's got to be an artist you want to see. Ryder, what's on your mind? Who would you see?
Okay, well, of course, it's the favorite band, and I never got to see them, but the answer is Nirvana. Now, here's the deal. I have heard from people who are a little bit older than me when Nirvana played in town. They played this show at the Entry that was incredible. So many people were kicking themselves for not being there. Just spectacular. But when they were here on the Bleach tour, they played at a place called the Uptown Bar, which is no longer there.
Yeah.
And I heard the rock legend is that Cobain was so drunk during sound check that he puked in the alley behind the Uptown Bar.
Think what
Oh,
that puke would
boy.
be. Think what that puke would be worth.
And that was my after work bar for a long time. So I've also puked in that same alley and feel this intrinsic connection. But
Nice.
I heard that show was not so hot. So it's kind of a gamble. Would I get a good Nirvana show? So my number is $435.
$435.
Yes.
I like it.
That's what I would spend on a ticket to see Nirvana play.
Okay. That very specific and with plenty of context provided. No argument there. What do you got, Fletcher?
Kyle, I went back and forth, and I was initially actually going, and I'm going to throw Ryder off here, and I'm sorry for that, but I was initially going to say Nirvana. But you know what? I'm going to change it in the interest of having fun with this. I think, and the other one that pops into my mind is having Freddie Mercury with Queen, because I never got to see that. But because of this late surgence in my life and music listening, I guess I have to go with the Beastie Boys. And my number, honestly, my number right now with kids and being laid off for a while, my number might be $7.
Okay.
But okay, so no, a real number. I'll put $305 on the Beastie Boys.
Wow.
For the that seems low, man.
Okay.
For a full-on Beastie Boys, all three
Well,
members
$435 sounds pretty low for Nirvana.
Wow.
I mean, it's Nirvana for crying out loud.
There's discrepancies in our paychecks, so that's what I'm factoring in.
Yeah, well, mine. You should see my bank account. It's not pretty.
I'm gonna go ahead and dip into savings if I have to. The one band I would see over any other, I do believe, because I want to be in the room. There's two that came to mind. If I could have seen mid-70s Bob Marley and the Wailers.
Okay.
Because everybody
right.
I know that ever saw them, no matter what kind of music they're into, I know people that saw the Wailers and say, that's the single greatest night of my life. The vibe in the room when the band's cooking and everybody's on board. But I got one more, and I'm going to go out on a limb and say, if I could see peak 1974 Little Feat. 1975, 76, Little
wow.
Feet.
All right.
Lowell George.
Yeah.
I would dip into the don't ever touch this money for anything fund. I'd go like $5,000 to get into a room with Little Feet.
Oh, really? I was picturing you north of 10.
If it had to be, sure.
Okay,
you know what? If it was actually possible, I'd probably okay, I know I said I wasn't going to do this. Oh, I would. That band to me, man, that's the baddest, groovinest, deepest, saddest, and most uproariously joyful music ever.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, the great forgotten band of all the great American rock bands. I think they get overlooked. They never had that ginormous breakthrough smash. Everyone knows a lot of their music, but when you watch them live, pull up Rock Palast, the German concert show from the mid '70s, and watch it. They're just phenomenal.
I believe it. We getting some good texts. Gina came in with $1,000 to see Queen with Freddie Mercury and $2,000 to see Prince one more time. Taking money out of my savings, she said.
Yeah, Gina's right on target, I think.
Yeah, I'm glad everyone was reminding me of the fact that Thanksgiving night 1978, I didn't see Queen even though I had tickets. Thanks for just rubbing that in my face,
Really?
everybody. Sat there and looked at tickets on the table without a ride. Oh, it's a dark, dark night in a memory bank. 651-989-ROCK. Let us know who you're going to see and how much you're going to pay to see them. Actual money that you have to see your favorite artist you can no longer see again. Text from John. I would pay $700 to see 70s Van Halen and $1,000 to see the 70s Stones. Now you can still go see the Rolling Stones.
They're not part of this.
But Charlie Watts, it's not the same.
Okay, all right, that's
I'm just
fair.
saying you don't have Charlie in there.
Yeah.
If it's a band that's we count three-legged dogs in this one, as they say. So that's what that is.
Okay.
Boy, there's some really good ones here. This text just came in. Someone said, Steve, I saw the Beatles at Met Stadium for $5.50 in 1965. Maybe I would spend $5 to see the Doors. I would hope Jim is hammered. Pretty safe bet. Pretty safe bet, my man.
I like the text that just came in from Tom because A, the artist is great, but also his head is in the right place. $2,000 precious dollars to take my wife to see Elvis. That's a lot considering tickets were about $5 back then.
If I saw Elvis, I would definitely want to see Summer of '77 Elvis. Big fat karate doing slow motion Elvis right there at the end. That's what you'd want to see.
Yes, I think I saw that guy in Vegas.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
I don't think I'd be picky.
Fat Elvis.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd be picky. You know what I mean? Like I just that's one that eluded me a little bit until the text started rolling in. Elvis would be right up there for me. Man, that'd be incredible.
I did chat with Barb on the phone, and she put her Doors concert at $2,000.
Ooh, all right,
so
fair
there
enough.
We go.
Too large. 651-989-ROCK. Hey, guess what? We have just enough time to get in the last word. In 1945, 1945, right after the end of the Second World War.
Gotcha.
That's a war that, by the end of it, the Soviets and the U.S. were aligned in just to topple Germany. So we were not exactly friends, but we were allies for that brief period of time.
Right.
We set up a new embassy in Moscow right after the war.
Okay.
A bunch of school children one day in a big ornate presentation, they presented a carved wooden Great Seal of the United States to the United States ambassador to hang in his office.
Okay.
Carved out of wood, the American seal, and it was really nice. What the Americans had no idea of knowing was that there was a device planted in it. It was called the Thing, and the Thing was invented by Soviet engineer Leon Theremin, who also invented the theremin.
Wow.
The instrument in Good Vibrations and what Jimmy Page would play with on Zeppelin live and wow, those crazy sounds.
Sure.
Leon Theremin invented something called the device. It had no power source. It was activated remotely by radio waves, and it was undetected for 7 years. And for 7 years, the Soviets listened to every conversation that took place in our ambassador's office.
Freaky. This was called The Thing?
The Thing. A listening device with no power source activated remotely by radio waves. Those Soviet engineering scientist bastards were way ahead of us.
That is one hell of a Trojan horse there.
That's a pretty good one. Pretty good one right there. So
freaky though too. That's freaky.
So anyway, this the whole idea that the Russians are the bad guys, there's a lot of reasons for that. Just saying.
That's like James Bond stuff. That doesn't even seem real.
Yeah, totally insane.
I'm looking for like 6 or 7 the things just around the building here.
You know, in the 70s, Volkswagen sold a car in America called The Thing. I wonder if they had bugs in them, too.
Ooh, yes.
That'd be kind of cool.
The things had things? Is that what you're
maybe
saying?
so. Maybe so. All right, so Fletcher, let's discuss what's coming up. Okay, the weekend is upon us, so I'm just going to tap out and unplug and go into brain rot. But you have a little work to do. You're going to be around for a few more hours. What's happening?
I plan on doing that as well. And you know what? I might even do it from 10 to 3. There might be the beginning, the setting in of brain rot.
Right on.
Go commercial free just before noon, as often as I always do. But also, I found out not only do we have boat cruise passes again, but I've also got Twins tickets again.
Nice.
Oh, sweet.
Those were off yesterday, and they're back today. So there they are. So we'll do that.
Right on. That sounds like a plan. Have a great weekend, everybody. This is Gorman in the Morning on Minnesota's 92 KQRS.
Gorman in the Morning is also Gorman on the go. Get the 92 KQRS app and stream live or catch the Gorman in the Morning podcast anytime. 92 KQRS.